Hi, my name's Scott. This is Playing with Chords. And today I want to teach you how to do this. Kind of fun. So basically today, all you need is your guitar, and if you want to download some of this note name scratch paper, or check out a link in the description for an online version of it. There's a jam track you can play along with, and I invite you to pause and practice what you've been learning here to the jam track. Follow along, and we're going to work our way up the neck, starting with an E chord and an A chord, and we're eventually going to be playing them all over the place. Probably important to talk about what is an E chord. Basically, an E chord is made up of E, G sharp, and B. That's it. So when you play this E chord down here, all you're doing is playing a series of E's, G sharps, and B's. And we got some duplicates there. That's about it. What about an A chord? An A chord is A, C sharp, and E. That's it. So if we play an A chord down here, all we've got is A's, we got a C sharp, and then we got a bunch of E's. Where's one? There's one there, one down there. That's it. A chord and E chord. Both of these chords are in the key of E major. And all that means is that we're just using notes from an E major scale to make these chords. So if we go E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, these are all the notes in an E major scale. Right? So when we go to play an E major chord, we're using the first, third, and fifth note of that E major scale. And when we go to play an A chord, we're using the fourth, sixth, and first note of that scale. But you don't need to know any of that. All you need to know is that's why the green notes are there, just to kind of be a little reminder that that's where these came from. So when we go look at the notes just at the first couple frets here, we can see, let's see. So here we have in red just E's, G sharps, and B's. And then in orange here, we've got A, C sharp, and E. And one of the coolest things about this kind of track is you can hear someone's already playing the rhythm guitar in there, doing this. It's me. And what that means is you don't have to do that. You can pick individual notes, you can play arpeggios, which would be... But as long as you're grabbing at least one E, one G sharp, and one B, you can make something interesting to play along with this track. You know, something like this. Right, it's just kind of an interesting little rhythmic thing to do instead of just strumming the whole chord. All you need is one of each note of the chord. Pretty cool. One E, one G sharp, and one B at least, you've got an E major chord. One A, one C sharp, and one E, and you've got an A major chord. Pretty nice. So let's just scoot up a little bit. Here I'm going to grab an E, a G sharp, and a B, and I'm just going to kind of reveal a little bit more. Let's go up to the 5th fret here. So here you can see, oh, we got a few more options, where down here, we could either strum this whole chord or we could grab little pieces. Now we could do interesting things like for an E major chord. That's kind of cool. We could also grab this E, this B, this G sharp up here. That's a really nice sound. We could also go like this. That's pretty nice. So this is up to the 5th fret. By the way, if you are following along using the scratch paper here, one great thing you could do at home, and this might be a good thing to stop and pause would be to remember the E, G sharp, and B, and then A, C sharp, and E. And if you want to start filling out just up to the 5th fret for now, but then, you know, keep going up and up as we keep going up and up. Here's all your E's, G sharps, and B's down here, and then we've gone all the way up to the 5th fret so far. These little between notes, by the way, here, it's important to remember that if you're trying to scoot a G up, it looks like down on the page, but up higher, meaning toward the body of the guitar, that means you're going to sharp that note. So this is a G sharp because we've scooched a G up. If you want to learn more about that, check out my online school, but I don't want to get into that today. So then over here, I'm going to put all the A's and C sharps that we've already found. And the cool thing is they share this E note, but then we've got A and G sharp, C sharp, excuse me, A and C sharp. So we've already got these ones down here that we've explored. What else can we do? We could do something like this, or we could do, it's a little bit stretchy. Also, not every voicing is equally difficult or equally easy. You might find that grabbing one of each can sometimes be kind of hard to figure out how to do. Like here's one that's really wonky. That's not very easy. But sometimes you just gotta experiment and see what happens. So let's just mark all the ones we've got so far here. So there we go. We've got some E, some A, some C sharp, some E, all the way up to the 5th fret here. Let's see if we can explore what this looks like to the jam track. Here we go. Let's play around with some of those voicings just up to the 5th fret. Go. And you know, we're just exploring here, so, you know, I'm not trying to make things sound perfect, amazing. This is part of practice. We're just exploring, tinkering, figuring out what's available. So now might be a good time to pause, get your scratch paper out or your interactive online scratch paper, check out the jam track, and see if you can just get comfortable with a couple extra choices up to the 5th fret. Once you feel comfortable, unpause, and we'll come back and explore a few more frets here. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you have paused, and maybe what we'll do is we'll just explore up the fingerboard a little bit more here. So going back to E, let's extend up to the 7th fret. So all we're doing is just looking for more E's, more B's, more G sharps. So it looks like if we grab E's, G sharps, and B's, and we extend just up to the 7th fret, wow, we get a few more options. You know, we've still got this stuff down here that we've already talked about. Now we've got this stuff up to kind of the 4th and 5th fret here, but we've got 6th fret and 7th fret here, which B, E, G sharp, just added a few more. This gives us the opportunity to kind of go, that's kind of fun. This also gives us the opportunity to kind of go like this, E, G sharp, B. That one's a little bit stretchy. Here, this one's not stretchy at all, but it is a little deep. Could be fun for certain situations. Here's a cool one, G sharp, E, and B. What I'm doing is I'm barring these ones back here. Yeah. You don't have to play them the way I'm playing them. You don't have to play all the same voicings I'm playing. The idea here is just experiment with what you like, what sounds fun to you. Let's scoot over to the A chord here and see what else we can find. A, C sharp, E. So it looks like if we extend up to the 7th fret with our A chord, we get a couple more options. So we've got, that's nice. It's not really a chord that you could strum, but you could play these one at a time, which is kind of fun. You can go here A, E, C sharp. That's nice. You can also grab this. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty similar to that E chord that was down there. A chord, that's really nice. You can go like this. Cool, what else could you do? You could do something like this. That's kind of fun. The idea here is just explore, see what works for you. Yeah, let's play the jam track again, just extend it up to the 7th fret, and I'll play a little bit, and you know, maybe I'll include some of the chords from down here and see if we can kind of bounce between this voicing and this voicing. It just kind of makes things feel like they're moving around a little bit more, even when you're playing the same chord. Kind of fun. So again, pause, practice, check it out, just up to the 7th fret, and then when you feel like you're starting to get comfortable with it, or when you're just curious to see what the rest of the neck looks like, come on back. You've always got more time to practice later, but, you know, at least give yourself a chance to get familiar. So, moving on, let's see where we want to go from here. If we grab that E, G sharp, and B that we had before, let's see if we want to extend up to the 9th fret here. We may want to go 10th fret. Yeah, 10th fret sounds nice. Well, there's nothing in this chord on the 10th fret, but it'll be helpful for the A chord later, you'll see. But, so previously we had this kind of, this is in the caged system, this is actually a C shape. And for those of you studying the caged system, you might start recognizing a lot of these shapes. You know, D shape, C shape. Here we are at the A shape. If you don't know what any of that means, don't worry about it, forget it. Or go check out the caged system. I got a few lessons on that on YouTube here and my Patreon. But we got just a few more options. Nothing too crazy. Mainly just this little strip of notes all on the same fret here. I like these kinds of chords because you can either grab them with your 3rd finger, just bar all 3, or with your 1st finger. There's no real right way to do it there. So let's fill this out on our chart here just so we can remember what we did. Looks like we've got a B, an E, and a G sharp. And then let's erase that and throw our A, C sharp, and E down. And let's see what that looks like. So here's a C sharp, here's an E, here's an A, here's a C sharp. Cool. That's nice. We've also got this little shape here. It's kind of fun. I like sliding up like that. There's really no correct thing to do here. The idea is just explore, tinker, find what you like. Anyway, let's try doing a little jam track on this. If you feel like you're struggling to come up with things on the fly, you know, while the jam track is playing, might be a good idea to just write out a few ideas and think, okay, maybe if I go from this voicing to this voicing, and then I switch to this voicing and this voicing on the A chord. You know, you can really map those things out and you can practice them. You can go, okay, here I'm going, and then I'm gonna go. And you can strum, you can finger pick, whatever's easiest for you. I'm using my fingers so that I can effortlessly grab my little pen at the same time. So let's try this with the jam track again. And maybe what I'll do this time is I'll try to focus mostly on all the new kind of things we've found up here, and then I'll maybe do another pass where I try bringing everything up and down the neck a little bit. Here we go. So staying up high. So you can go. fun. I just think it's so fun. All right, another chance for you to pause and practice just everything up to the 10th fret here. I'm gonna assume you paused, and then we'll just keep working our way up to the 12th fret. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we got a few more options here. For our E chord, we got kind of an interesting. That's nice. We could also do this, or just. That's nice. These are all. We could do one of these again. So that's up to the 12th fret for the E major chord. We left off here, and now we've got a couple extra options. Nothing too much. Looks kind of nice. Let's check out the A major chord. A, C sharp, E. So we left off kind of down here with this note, and so we've got this extra one here. You caged people, like me, might recognize this as a C shape. I love playing this particular voicing of a major chord. And you can find it here for the A and down here for the E. Again, our dots are on A right now, but if you recognize E, G sharp, and B, that's the E chord from before. I can play that same shape way up here. The more you learn the fingerboard, the more you can recognize all these similar shapes or identical shapes and just move them up and down the fingerboard. It's fantastic. So let's mark this out on the scratch paper just so we can kind of see it in one different way, because I think it's really useful to see things from a couple different perspectives. So that's what we have for the E chord and the A chord up to the 12th fret. Maybe what I'll do this time is I'll jam a little bit just in that 9 to 12 area so we can explore those voicings and see how they sound with the jam track. And then maybe I'll just do the jam track again and see if we can start moving basically just multiple voicings of the same chord up and down the fingerboard. And to me, this just is a lot more fun than just strumming. You know, if you're doing this, oh, it's nice, but wouldn't it be fun to go, right? To me, that's like, ooh, that's creative. I love doing that personally. Plus, if someone else is already strumming, you have some opportunities to do something kind of interesting and different and complementary. Playing with other people is all about being complementary, which I love. Anyway, let's get this track going. Here we go. So just trying to stay on these upper frets. So that was just on the 9th and 12th. Let's see what happens when we just kind of explore the whole fingerboard so far. I was gonna go there. I'm just exploring. Just tinkering around. It's a lot of fun. Once you get to the 12th fret, everything's an octave higher, so the shapes that you see down here on E, B, E repeat themselves. E, B, E. So if this B and E has a little G sharp hanging out here, then we're also gonna have, you know what I'm saying? Everything is an octave higher. This is why sometimes you can play an E chord down here and then you can scoot it up to the 13th and 14th fret. So essentially we're in repeat territory. So everything you learned down here is gonna just become the exact same shape up here. Very cool. And it's going to be the same thing for the A chord here. We got A, C sharp, and E. Just like you can play this A chord down here where you're on the 2nd fret, the 12th fret is like the nut, the 0 fret down here. And so the 14th fret is like the equivalent of the second fret down in open position. So see how that same little shape across there? So what this means is we're in kind of repetition territory. And since we're on the A chord right now, I'll just keep writing this in. And, you know, I'll go up to the 17th fret here. But see if you can see how this little shape right here looks the same as this shape right here. When you compare on your own using scratch paper, see if you can see that similarity, or not even similarity, identical. It's the same thing. And then with the E chord, we've got, oops, leaned on my mic, we've got the same kind of thing going on here. If I just extend this, let's extend this A chord all the way up, you'll start seeing that repeating pattern where we've got this guy, and then we've got this guy, we've got, see how this is the same as, we get some repetition, pretty cool. And it's the same with the E major, just to really bring it home here. If we want to play G sharp, B, E here, and then we want to play, B, E, G sharp here, we can also play same. So with a little bit of work, working, you know, section by section up the fingerboard, you now have all the tools you need to put something together like this. Pretty cool. If you want to learn not just how to do more stuff like this, but understand how it works so that you don't have to have someone teach it to you every time and you can kind of figure it out for yourself. Maybe you want to be in a band and you want to be a lead guitar player, rhythm guitar player. Maybe you have always wanted to write music. Maybe you just want to understand how the guitar works better and you want to learn more about the caged system or strumming patterns or, you know, whatever. My my Patreon, my online music school is all about sort of blending creativity and helping you explore the most fun part of music, which is making music, with music theory and how things work, and kind of tying those things together so that you can learn more about music and more about the guitar while also being creative and making the instrument feel like it's yours. I love that stuff. It's really fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.